Okay. Good evening, students. So until the physical students participate for the lectures, so they are in the bank. So then online student, I will take the presentation from you. So, so you can ready for the presentation.
Hello, madam.
Online students, can you all hear me?
Yes,
Hello,
madam.
madam. Yes.
Madam.
Okay, thank you. Any volunteers to present? You can share your screen and do the presentation.
Madam, may I do?
Any volunteers to do the presentation?
Madam, may I do?
Okay, you
Hello.
all can switch on your camera and do the presentation, online students. Let's start with any volunteers. Any volunteers?
Hello, miss. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can do it. You can tell me your index number.
My index number is 031, ma'am. 18CEX 031.
Indeed, C exception.
Yes, ma'am.
Students, you can be silent.
Uh, Ma'am, Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Can
you
you
can go
see my
ahead.
screen?
Yes, we can see your
Actually,
screen.
uh, my PowerPoint slide also, can you see, no, ma'am?
We can't see your PowerPoint slide, but you have shared your screen.
Uh, Give me a second, miss. I'm sharing that one. That's what I'm. Ma'am, now you can see my screen, my presentation.
Yes. Yes.
You can see my presentation, no, ma'am? The PowerPoint slide.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Shall I start, ma'am?
Can't see anything because you have shared your identifier on your mobile. Any single word I can't read on your PowerPoint slide, but I can see something you have shared. That's something.
Ma'am, can I give me a second? Ma'am. I'll log in again, ma'am. Then I can share it to you. Is it
Yeah,
okay, ma'am?
better to over other devices.
Okay, give me a
Right?
second, ma'am. I'll log in.
And
I'll log in.
chance to other student.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Hello,
Okay.
madam.
Yes, you can share your screen and do the presentation.
Okay, madam.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Madam, can you see my screen now? It's visible?
Yes.
Okay, madam. Good afternoon, madam, and all. The background of the research is the automotive dealership industry is important contributor to the UAE economy. So the dealership manage major operating costs, including the vehicle inventory costs, spare part costs, labor costs, then the maintenance and service expenses. The effective cost control practices such as budgeting, cost variance analysis, inventory control, and performance monitoring can improve operational efficiency. So the objective of the research is evaluate the impact of cost control practices on operational efficiency and identify the types of cost control practices used by UAE automotive dealerships. The research questions are: what is the impact of cost control on operational efficiency in automobile leaderships in UAE, and what types of cost control practices are used by UAE automobile dealerships? So the variables are: independent variable is cost control practices, then the dependent variable is operational efficiency. So conceptual framework is the cost control practices, which includes budget planning, cost variance analysis, inventory and spare parts management, labor cost control, then the overhead cost control. Operational efficiency is we selected productivity, resource utilization, service efficiency, and the process efficiency. So the population.
Slide. Okay, thank you, Durga. Thank you very much for the presentation. I read your entire slide. So what here missing is conceptual framework. You need to draw the conceptual framework. But you have mentioned the variables included in the control data, including the conceptual framework. But this is not the conceptual framework. Right? I don't know whether you were at the class or not. When we are drawing the conceptual framework, you have to keep the right hand side here, a independent variable, and then left hand side here, dependent variable and then draw those things within the windows using the box, and then you have to link those each and every independent variable with the dependent variable by using the arrows. That is what I expect, right? So that has to be improved in your presentation, except that one others are seeing. So okay, draw the conceptual framework properly and then do the and develop your proposal. What is the index number?
BSc 2024 18C EX018, madam.
Okay, you are aware of Himasha, Dilshani aware of no?
No, madam. Lucy KGNM Prasangani. 18.
No?
EX018.
18. Okay. Okay, Prasanthi. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me, madam?
Yes, I can see your presentation. You can make it to the PowerPoint mode, presentation mode. Switch on the presentation mode.
Is it okay, madam?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, madam. My name is Danushka, student number 18 EX027, DL Jayasingha. My topic is the impact of budgeting practices, costing method, and performance measurement system on the financial performance of the hotels in Seychelles. So variables, I have identified the three variables: the budgeting practices, costing methods, and the performance measurements system. My research questions are, what is the impact of budgeting practices on the financial performance of the hotels in Seychelles? Second question is, what is the impact of costing methods on financial performance of the hotels in Seychelles? Third question is, what is the impact of performance measurement system on financial performance of hotel in Seychelles? The objectives are aligned with the variables. The first objective is to identify the impact of budgeting practices on financial performance. The second objective is aligned with the costing methods. It is to identify the impact of costing methods on financial performance. And the third objective is to identify the impact of performance measurement system on financial performance. This is my conceptual framework. And the population will be around 450 finance professionals. The unit of analysis will be financial controllers, financial managers, and the accountants from the registered hotels in Seychelles. The sample size will be 210, and the sample technique is the stratified random sampling techniques, madam. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation. We all got the previous lectures as well. So except note, you can go with the proposal. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam, can you see my screen?
Yeah. We can see your presentation, Hassan. Hassan, let us know your index number.
BSc 2024 18A weekend 009.
Okay, you can start. Yeah, you can start.
Okay, madam. So my topic is the impact of big data analytics on audit quality, evidence from internal and external auditors in the western province of Sri Lanka. The reason I choose this is that big data analytics is changing how auditors are done globally. Auditors are moving from sample-based testing to test entire population of transaction. So so there are my research questions are: what is the impact of big data volume and variety utilization on audit quality? And what is the impact of auditors, big data analytics competency on audit quality? And what is the impact of real-time continuous data analytics use on audit quality? And the research objectives are to identify the impact of big data volume and variety utilization on audit quality, to identify the impact of auditors, big data analytic competency on audit quality, and to identify the impact of real-time continuous data analytics usage on audit quality. And when moving to conceptual framework, there are three independent variables that I identify. First one is big data volume and variety utilization. Second one is auditors big data analytics competency, and real-time and continuous data analytics. And the dependent variable is audit quality. And the population and unit of analysis and sampling methods are so the population, I target sample approximately 300 responses, 150 from internal auditors and 150 from external auditors. So the population is internal auditors in audit firms and corporate functions, and external auditors from Big Four and non-Big Four audit firms. And the unit of analysis is the individual auditors, each from the questionnaire responses. And then the sample and sampling technique is random sampling method I'm going to use, and that's it.
Okay, thank you very much for the nice presentation. Can you go to the first slide? You are targeting to collect the data via sharing the questionnaire. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes, from
Okay.
pyramid.
Okay, right. Thank you very much for the nice presentation again. You can go ahead with the proposal.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, now we can see your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Shall I start, ma'am?
Yeah, make it the presentation mode and then start.
Can you visible now? Hello.
Yes.
Is it visible now, ma'am?
Yes, make it to the present. Now it is okay. You can start.
Okay. Good afternoon, madam. My name is Mohammed Murshid. My index number is 18CEX031. And actually, I'm currently working in Qatar. This is my proposal. My research topic is the impact of Sukuk market development on the performance and stability of Sri Lanka financial sector. Sukuk means a Sharia compliant asset-backed investment certificate. Actually, it's unlike conventional interest-bearing bond. It is actually is very much popular in GCC Gulf countries and Malaysia. So same impact will be here also started in Sri Lanka also with the very first Sukuk prospectus of Lanka. So my first independent variable I took Sukuk market development. It include component regulation, infrastructure, investor participation, issuance growth, and product diversification. And dependent variable, financial sector performance and financial stability in Sri Lanka. And moving to my research question, the impact of Sukuk market development on financial sector performance and how a role of the Sukuk in achieving financial stability, the factors affecting the Sukuk market growth in Sri Lanka, and the measures for successful Sukuk developments. So my main research objective is examining how Sukuk market development affect the performance and stability in Sri Lanka financial sector. So for this one, my objective is to analyze the Sukuk role in performance, discuss Sukuk role in the financial stability, identify challenges in opportunities, and recommend integration measures. My conceptual framework is Sukuk market development is an independent variable, and financial sector will be a dependent variable. And mostly my research is mostly on a qualitative basis, and mainly I'm doing the interview with the financial professional, regulator, and Islamic finance experts, investment professionals, and academic and researchers. And in addition to that, on we are doing the document of reports on guidelines, publication issues on Sukuk financial sectors in Security and Exchange Commission, CBSL, Islamic IMF and Islamic Financial Statutory Board, and World Bank, and Lanka prospects. My unit of analysis is stakeholder in Sukuk called capital market development, such as individuals who has the knowledge and also in experience in through these Sukuk developments. And sampling, actually my sampling techniques as a qualitative multi-method design, semi-structured interviews for primary details, and document analysis for the supporting document, as I earlier mentioned. Mainly since this is a very new concept for Sri Lanka, mostly I'm going for the documental analysis. And 15 to 20 interview participants who is in the financial professional related to the Islamic finance, I will interview them, and mostly regulatory institution academics I will use for this one. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much for the interesting research topic. I didn't heard the word Sukuk market previously. It was very nice presentation as well as very nice topic. So my concern is you are working at Qatar, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you doing the 4th year?
I beg your pardon, ma'am?
Will you be able to do the 4th year? Do you have any intention to do the 4th year?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. So the practicality is, right? If you are working at Qatar, how you can collect the data for this research in Sri Lankan context?
Actually, ma'am, that's why I'm going for this documental analysis mainly for these CC regulations and some other literature reviews I'm using, ma'am. And only available here is Lanka issued 500 million Sukuk. So I'm referring to mainly that one, ma'am.
That means you are supposed to collect the secondary data.
Mainly secondary data, ma'am. And in addition to that, I'm trying to connect with some actually from Amana Bank, and there are some connections are with me. So I'm using them also. And actually in our company we started to invest in Sukuk bond. So we have some investment advisors as well in Qatar as well. So I'm getting their insight as well.
Okay, you can develop your proposal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, students now, online students now, since the physical students already arrived, we'll take the presentation from them and again go to your presentations, right? We take the physical student presentation and then after you will go to your presentation. Okay, now I will start your presentation, physical presentation, starting all the names. So then according to the names, you can do the presentation. Any volunteers? We do the presentation first. Any volunteers to do the presentation first? No. 17B MOH 024. Dayananda. 18 MOH weekdays 002. MOH weekdays 002. download your presentation on the list. Zero zero three 18A Moichi Vite 003. Now what the Nisana 18A week 18A weekend 001. Imasha Agnoda or Imashi Agnoda 003. Aki. You can download the presentation from there. And then you do the presentation, share the screen and do the presentation. The other side. Okay, others, please upload your presentation via Lanka. Yeah, one. And the other one to the PC. Other phone and the smartphone.
Where?
Oh, no, it's okay. Oh, sorry, ciao. the companies in the 5 years. Right? It's subject to those corrections. I will recommend your research person. Okay? Are you clear what I'm saying to you? Do those amendments and then submit your proposal. You don't have your conceptual framework, you're showing this. Okay, 004 Patu. 004. Okay, 005. 6. 8. 9 completed. 11. 12. Have you upload presentation details? Upload it. You mean that kind of thing. So it's go to the form. Yes. Last name, your last name. Then after scroll down, scroll down. Today are number. Last name, give me your last name. Type. Click on there, the last name is. And the right. Scroll down. Video presentation. Okay, now click on the presentation.
So my presentation is the impact of working capital management on profitability of listed manufacturing companies in Sri Lanka. When I explain my background of research, working capital to me companies manage short-time assets and liabilities. It includes cash, inventory, accounts receivable, and accounts payable. These are my independent variable. According to that variable, I develop research question that sub variables. This is my research objective. That's based on my research questions. You can see conceptual framework, independent variable that's changes impact into dependent variable profitability. This is quantitative research. My research is quantitative research. I get population as all listed manufacturing companies in Sri Lanka. This research unit of analysis is individual manufacturing companies listed on Colombo Stock Exchange. My sample is 10 companies with complete 5 years financial data. Sampling technique is purposive functions.
Let's start. And one suggestion is when you are mentioning the considerable paper carrots, name the hypothesis. Each one is to variation. And then, so I'm suggesting you should collect the data from not the 10 companies, but more than 10 companies because the minimum data points need to be 100. So 100. Here, 10, 5%, you can only get the 50 data points. That is not sufficient. So they are queries collect the data from 34 companies. Do that amendment and then submit your proposal. Just click on there. Just click. Last I can see. Right. And all these students eight, 9, 11, 12, 14. The last time. The impact of my proposed research topic is the impact of mandatory sustainable reporting on the financial performance of listed companies in Sri Lanka. So now in this case, in current situation, sustainability is a more powerful topic in this Sri Lanka. So I have selected this one. My topic, conceptual framework, independent variable is mandatory sustainability reporting and the dependent variable is financial performance. In the Sri Lanka context, 2025, Sri Lanka introduced two standards for mandatory sustainable reporting, SLFR SS1 and SLFR SS2. So my proposition, I will select top 100 listed companies on the Colombo Stock Exchange that are subject to mandatory sustainability reporting. So my research area, I will select for sample 25 or 30 selected companies from this. This is purposive sampling. So my research question is what is the impact of mandatory sustainable reporting on the financial performance of listed companies in Sri Lanka? In financial performance, I will measure return on asset ROA, return on equity ROE, earning per share EPS. This is my research area. I think I will give more evidence from this topic. How you can measure the mandatory sustainable reporting in listed companies annual reports? Just select the second day. Yeah. So what sort of things you are investigating on the mandatory sustainable reporting? SLFR is to climate gas emission. That's right. I need to research I need to research about what is unendorsed. Yeah, I did about yeah. So then can you take the paper? Just click on the slide. Take the pen there. And now you draw the one below in your left hand side. Below the space, by yes, one window. Then the other side, another limit. Limit the way. Right here, independent variable there. First one, mandatory sustainable MSP, right? That MSP. That is your dependent financial performance. Now link this one MSP to draw the arrow from MSP to financial performance. Name this one as H1 arrow. This is your conceptual framework, right? This is not your conceptual framework. When I ask draw the conceptual framework, you have to do like that, right? And then you are correcting the second data. So you are regarding S1 and S2. So maybe S1 and S2 is implemented 2025. So then you are doing the research in 2028. Then only the financial statement that you can refer is 2 years, not 3 years, 2 years mandatory. So then if there are top 10, 100 companies, you have to take at least not with 25 to 30, minimum you have to take at least 90, 80 companies. Otherwise, you don't have a sufficient data to do the analysis. Yeah. I don't know that. Five and then with the night of 100 is when we six in them, each a petty and they have to see another mandate that they the sustainable resources. Yes, it's very make it mandate. What is the month? See, it 3,600. 190 what's it the gun? Then got look concerned about companies some under trade that we put on. The one however, 25 to 30 companies that what are the Indian companies so data availability that take at least 100 companies are done because 2 years secondary they are 2 into 100 they have 100 data points. Data points is 100. So therefore you have to select then 25 companies. So there are no research for this topic. And the guidance from the study companies that is you can take the paper and then have the guidance. That is you can say. Last slide. Fourteen, 16, 14. Their last name. Last name.
Hello,
last
miss.
name,
Hello, miss.
last time. They are the same vowel. The same vowel. Last name is B. B.
Hello, miss. Can you hear me?
Can you see, can you hear her voice? Last stop. Avisha. Can you hear the voice? Okay. My first topic is impact of credit risk assessment in loan granting to the financial performance in licensed finance companies, Sri Lanka. So my research problems are how do credit risk assessment practices influence loan granting decisions in Sri Lankan finance companies. Its objective is to evaluate the credit risk assessment practices used in loan granting. Problem 2 is what is the relationship between credit risk assessment practices and loan portfolio, quality of the loan portfolio. So to examine it, I'm using the non-performing level of the loan portfolios. Research question. Third one is how does the credit risk assessment in loan granting affect the financial performance? So measure the financial performance. I'm going to evaluate the loan granting with the financial performance indicators, which is ROE, ROA, yes. So my independent variable is credit risk assessment and dependent variable is financial performance. When it comes to the population is Sri Lankan licensed finance companies and unit of analysis is companies level of credit risk assessment which is NPL ratio, impairment coverage ratios, etc. And I would be select sample. There is a 30 licensed finance companies in Sri Lanka. I'm going to do qualitative research. Therefore, select qualitative research. This is the qualitative research. How we are supposed to do this one? Correct. How we are supposed to select? What is your dependent variable? But when you are doing research questions, there are not several dependent variables. Risk assessment on the brand and mixed loan brand defines the loan brand is the dependent variable. But second question, relationship between risk assessment practices and loan portfolio quality. If there is another variable, loan portfolio quality. And the third question, that is the financial performance. Different dependent variables are there. Was with the third part, then how about the first one and second? You have to check it. So why are you saying that you have to change? You have to change that. So then you have to assessment practices and then financial performance and the long-term decisions participate. Right? If you want to have dependent variable, it doesn't matter, right? So then in that sense, there might be different variables, but at least your dependent variable should be one. Risk assessment. For example, how does the risk assessment impact on the financial performance? How does the risk assessment practices? Other one, portfolio practices. Other third one, how does the risk assessment practices impact on the financial performance? Here, three different practices, right? Then the three different objectives doesn't matter, right? So then you change like that. Since you have incorporated three objectives, the three different dependent variables, like independent one, dependent, three different dependent, and change the conceptual variable like that. Right? And then can this regards to collect the data where the second data is right. So I suppose you are not in your hospital. Question. Right? You can share the question here. Right? And then you are making the sample. How many bags in Sri Lanka? I'll be choosing like 5 companies. 30 companies are there. And then data analysis normally you are collecting data from the managers and finance managers that will be presented. And then sample also out of 30 companies, you have seen at least 25 companies. So mostly using the sample. So what is sample size? Not mentioned sample technique. Need to mention sample technique. These are the those things, otherwise it's incomplete. 60, 70. No. Just click on. Again, click on. Last slide. Last one. Those who completed, they can leave. Doesn't matter, but you have to mark attendance. I'm chatting you up at the end of the session, so then you have to not upload everything. All are getting. Translate. You go to the first name, click on all, first name all, last name all, that's all. Now check this out, this things. What's your number?
60. The impact of inflation.
Hope you are not ready for the presentation, right? Hope you are not ready for the presentation, right? Am I true? Do it in the next week. Okay. Even the control area, so it will not include with the you change that, right? You look at the other's presentation and then redo. Okay. Close. Scroll up and down. Scroll up. Last name. Last name. What's your last name? His last name. I'll scroll it up. Right. Yes, presentation. Presentation morning class. Others, you can listen to her. Srilanka. This is the organization and performance generation. And then they will always performance. Organization is overall commercial Counter size my research is what is the Srilanka. Thank you very much for the presentation. I have one concern. I have one concern. Why you have mentioned that 1 to 5 hypothesis? Are there 5 hypotheses? How do you identify 5 hypotheses? Have you questioned correctly? LLB and NBA also they better for independent variables separate. Then that independent variables in financial performance, right? And then I hope you have another hypothesis for the control variables as like all the control variables independently as well as independently something the financial performance. Yeah, the different hypothesis they guide the variables and hypothesis available there are 5 objective okay. Given objective was okay, many developments no point of view doing that much. Second, third question, you develop it, what is the relationship between well-being and the financial performance of the listed of the commercial banks in Sri Lanka? Third, so then fourth one you develop, what is the relationship? It's not this one is not related, what is the relationship between financial performance? And then identify even when the relationship between variables can be the indicators slowly. Fourth question, what is the relationship between financial performance, right? And then identify the financial performance. Last questions that you have only questions just provide then some mention 2018 factories 2026 because you are doing your research in 2024 it's again 2 years back. Very relevant, so then you mention it as the 2026 as in market that of the market thank you. That will start from this one. Otherwise, I'm calling your names no. I'm basing your time. We start from this one and do the presentation as you are sitting there and then continue. Come and do the presentation. Last name. The last name Rahman. Last name N. Last name letter N. Last name letter N. You are Rahman. Scroll down. First one.
These variables are dependent variables, stock price movement, independent variables with earning per share.
You develop your questions properly, right? Have you looked at the others' presentations? Have you identified way how they have and objectives, including the questionable format, including the starting but how this and then if you started with two and action verbs and like twice. I will see those things. Have you identified that things in my presentation? Have you realized that? Yes or no? Yes, no, do it in the next month. Do it in the next week. I'm not moving the questions, objectives, and questions and objectives are finalized properly. I'm not like a report for the same, right? Do it in the next time. Okay? All you can create by doing by writing down what you can take to it and complete that. Right? Okay, come next topic. What's your name?
My research topic is the impact of the capital structure on financial performance of listed renewable energy companies in Sri Lanka. So I recognize there's an article. That article says there's a research gap in this industry in Sri Lanka. That's a very limited research conducted by this industry. So therefore, I fix this topic. So my research variables are independent variables, the capital structure. So these are the three factors that impact to capital structure, and the dependent variable is the financial performance. I expect to measure financial performance based on these two factors. So population is the listed renewable energy companies in Sri Lanka, and the analytical method is the statistical tools that shown is the descriptive analysis, correlation, and regression. And my research question is, there are three questions. First one is what is the impact of the debt to equity? Mistakenly, I have copied this one. And the conceptual framework, there's a, I expect research based on design. Actually, this one is the need to combine at the financial performance. And first hypothesis is debt to ratio analysis. Based on that, I expect to maintain three hypotheses. These ratios. These are the conceptual framework, and I want to need to know there's a one concern. Sri Lanka in this industry, there are only six listed companies. And the one company was incorporated under 2019, and the others has eight that years they have incorporated 2016 and 15. So I expect to get the overall information data from the annual data.
Otherwise, you want to sufficient.
Yeah.
Minimum data quality should be 100. And so they have already 6 companies, so 8 companies, 16 or 10 years. They are better have almost all the companies. Otherwise, you can't continue. And since you have done a great job, I'm just recommending don't follow the consequence framework in the end. Like just do it manually and then take the high. It's one, it's two, it's three, then you go there, then it's the renewable energy company that in the conceptual payment.
It's the two is like the one for the
That's it. That's us. Because I'm taking that's meaning that company we are taking from the 2016 numbers. That company has been incorporated in that period. So they can't take but they do 5 companies. These
I think that company has 6 years. Then you get that 6 years. Yes.
yeah, you can take like 6 years and other 3 years you can take it as 0. But sometimes entirely because of the data available. You remove that one, how many companies? 5 companies. So then 1,300 able to expand 20 companies. So 20 years. 20 years is not possible. So then when you are doing ask your research for another industry in that industry. Yeah, the 5 industry things can be you can have it together. Just save this. Otherwise, renewable industry and say instead of a company, say renewable industry. Develop other suggestions for the vehicle, basic research, computer structure, and finance. I cannot research. Renewable energy industry give a capital contribution, then what can you want to understand? Submit the research team, but we are doing the fourth year from this they have us for the 4th year research, but it's to another gap paying. We can be starting the research, you suggest the gap paying, your supervisor. I have developed my proposal not based on this area, but I have identified this gap paying area, and then I'm combining this with industries when I'm doing the research. With performance, I'm saying it's number.
There is 18.
Okay, next one. Yeah. Yeah, you can start.
Good afternoon, Miss. So basically, the research topic is the impact of exchange rate and inflation on the working capital management of listed companies in Sri Lanka. So, in terms of the research, so in terms of the variables that are chosen, it's basically the exchange rate inflation, which is acting as the independent variables, and the working capital management, which is done through the cash conversion cycle, that is acting as my dependent variables. And also I have chosen another variable which is not finally fitting in when dependent one, but sort of like hybrid one, which is basically the combined impact of these two independent variables. So what I'm looking forward to this is rather than just speaking, just individually explaining what these two independent variables, how it's impact to the dependent variable, how does the combined impact also affect to the working capital management through my research. And as per the conceptual framework, the dependent variable will be focused on the macroeconomic independent variables, which is basically the exchange rate and the inflation rate. And my study design will be the population as per the all listed manufacturing companies in the Colombo Stock Exchange. And unit of analysis is individual listed manufacturing companies at the firm level. And my sample and sampling technique will be manufacturing companies selected via sampling method using professional judgment using a 5-year panel data, which is basically the year that I'm focusing is the current context, latest current context from 2021 to 2025 using a quantitative method.
Okay.
Yes.
I will see the way of others have chosen this conceptual framework.
Yes, yes. What is it?
That is the right. They should not talk to bottom or bottom to top.
Yes.
They should be other way around, right? Correct that one. And then combining the facts, you don't develop the question to the combining. You can do that one in the analysis. Right? So therefore, into the question and nothing to do for the combining. And don't use the word affect. Because affect can't be question, so then the measurement word is the impact, right? So what you can correct the first question to our text into this, the exchange rate, not the affect impact on the working capital management. So I'm suggesting just take the third question as the first question and then first question and second and third. Right? Because when you are doing that kind of a study, first you identify what are the current level of practices of the working capital management, and then go to the exchange, how the exchange rate is impacting the working capital and the inflation is impacting on the working capital management. Then do the changes for the considerable paper. How many companies are targeting here?
Around 20
to 50. 10 to 50. Not sufficient, right? Have to select more than that one because we need 100 data points to select 10 companies, 10 into 5 years, and only you can collect 50 data points. These are sufficient. And to run that proper regression template, there should be 300 data points. But minimally we are asking the students to go with 100. So then 100 in the sense 5 years back now. 100 divided by 5%, you have to at least select the 20 companies. More than we select more than right?
Thank you.
What's your name?
Sadir Galle.
47. The last name, first not the first name, last name. Yeah. Mark the last first name as whatever. First name as Mark. Last name. Last name.
Systematic literature review. So my topic is the impact of artificial intelligence adoption on audit quality, which is a systematic literature review with a special reference to the Sri Lanka listed companies. So when it comes to variable, my independent variable will be artificial intelligence, and my dependent variable will be audit quality. And when it comes to research questions, I will mainly cover on what are the major applications of artificial intelligence in the audit function, and what are the opportunities and the challenges influenced by this AI adoption, and also what are the key dimensions of audit quality identifying the existing literature. And when it comes to objectives, to examine the existing literature on the application of artificial intelligence and to determine the opportunities and challenges associated with AI. So when it comes to conceptual framework, I have clarified thesis as audit efficiency, audit effectiveness, fraud detection, risk assessment, and audit decision making. So this will determine, like, this will test how this artificial intelligence adoption will, like, what is the impact, like, there's a significant impact on the dependent variables, which is audit quality. So usually we to publish academic on artificial intelligence, and the analysis will be peer reviewed journal articles, and samples will be peer reviewed studies published between I have taken at 2022 up until 2026. So the hypothesis like it's determined like whether the level of significant impact which the artificial intelligence has to the audit quality. So that is so this is a quality. This is basically qualitative types, right? So if it is a qualitative crime business, then I am doing no such payment. It's a separate kind of a study. When not only to mention the conceptual payment. Right? So, and then the other part. We can go with the primary question number one, that is okay. Right, question number two also, what are the opportunities and all things, that is also okay. What are the key dimensions of the audit quality, identify the existing literature review. So as a lecturer, as a research coordinator, I can't give the approval for this one. Systematic literature review in the sense that you are doing the research with the by looking at the other research and are concluding what has happened. Right? Are you doing the whole year? Yes. So we are not giving the chance for the student 6 months. This kind of can be done within 1 week. And you just download the peer review papers and then you analyze it and you present it. Right? That is what we call as a systematic quiz. But as an undergraduate for the 6th grade, we are not doing the systematic literature class. Right? So therefore, it is a systematic literature review, you have to change it.
But you can do it, you can do qualitative research, you can do. That doesn't matter. You can go to the industry and they go to the audit firm, then ask about the how the addition investigation depending on the audit culture. So you see, first question and second question are okay for the qualitative type research, right? But for the second, third question, key dimension of the audit quality identified in the existing literature review, that also speaks the yes, you can quote, right? But for the fourth question, that is beyond the quantitative type questions, right? Artificial intelligence, that qualitative special reference to listed companies in the sense that is beyond qualitative. You can't do the quantitative and quantitative both together and qualitative doesn't count. Purely quantitative type. Last question, relationship. Relationship can't be done with quantitative. Qualitative. Starting with the quantitative. You collect the data, you write the data and set data and you link that is the relationship. Right? So since you have included some quantitative type, right? You can do this research with the qualitative type. Right? Qualitative, purely qualitative. Go to the industry, conduct the interviews, then take the interview comments, and then the email can receive the publication and do your research. But systematic literature review is only so other program we are running the chance of systematic literature review. So that is the word systematic literature review. Right? And then this is a qualitative, you remove the word impact also. Right? For the quantitative research, we take the impact. We just mentioned artificial intelligence adaptation, audit quality, special reference to the listed companies in Sri Lanka. Right? And then take the question number 1, page application, okay. And the second one, opportunities and the challenges, that's also okay. And then key dimension of the audit quality, that is also okay. Right? And then three questions and 3 objectives. So the systematic last question, we do the last question. Right? Remove the hypothesis. The hypothesis, no need to mention the hypothesis. You don't have to have a framework in the qualitative analysis. And then population, unit of analysis, then on the theory articles, it should be the CFOs or the audit managers and particular persons in the companies. Right? CFO, finance manager, defense, CRO, and all. Right? From them, you have to collect the data. And the theory articles and all. Sample also, then you have population also, you have to change the CFO, CRO working at the listed company should be our population, and then out of that, there might be 100 companies, 190 companies, so there might be 190 CFOs. Out of that 190 CFO population, you select at least 100, 120 as a sample in the analysis. Right? Clear? What's the next number?
Hari.
Scroll down.
Good afternoon, madam. My research topic is the impact of corporate governance on management practice of listed service companies in Sri Lanka. If I move into conceptual framework, there are two variables, independent variables and dependent variables. Dependent variables is earning management. Independent variables are both characteristic, audit committee and ownership concentration. If I move to dependent variable question, question is what is the level of earning management in listed services companies in Sri Lanka? These three variables are independent variables. First one, board characteristic. Question is what is the impact of board characteristics on earning management practices of listed companies in Sri Lanka? Second one, audit committee. Question is does audit committee independence and size influence the level of earning management? Last one is ownership concentration. Question is does ownership concentration affect earning management? This result is method analysis including population of listed services sector companies on the Colombo Stock Exchange. Sample listed service companies related via proposed sample based on the data availability over 5 years study period.
How many service companies? How many?
Yes.
Question දෙවෙනි question එක දාන්න format එක වෙනස් කරලා කැලි දාලා. දැන් කියවන්න පළවෙනි එක දෙවෙනි එක මොනවාද හිත තියෙන්නේ? Question number 2 second one and third one. Into the question number first format. Question number 2, what is the impact of audit committee independence and firm size on the earnings management practices of listed service companies in Sri Lanka? පළවෙනි question එක විදිහට දෙවෙනි question එකක් තියන්න. පළවෙනි question එක හරි. දෙවෙනි question එක විදිහට third එක හරි. එතකොට පස්සේ පළවෙනි objective එක third. දෙවෙනි objective එක headings. Then the pළවෙනි question එක හරි. objective එක හරි. second question එක third question එක ඒ විදිහට then the research topic is in hypothesis H1, H2, H3, then identify the population and then excellent sample size. What's the last thing. What's your name? Last name, it has all the last names. Now scroll down. What's your name? Next. Now scroll down.
Green matter. So my research topic is the impact of the corporate governance on financial reporting quality evidence from the listed manufacturing company of Sri Lanka. So I chose this topic because corporate governance helps to companies prepare the better financial reporting, better they can use financial reporting, helping the investors and stakeholders to make a better decision. So my variable, independent variable, is the board of size. Board of size means the company, board of directors in the company, and board of independent is the independent directors in the companies, and audit committee size and the financial reporting quality is the different variable. My research question is what is the impact of the board size on the financial reporting quality, and what is the impact of the board's independence on the financial reporting quality, and what is the impact of the auditor committee size on the financial reporting quality, and the dependent variable reporting. Dependent variable is the measures the using financial reporting quality. The objective is to examine the impact of the board size on the financial quality, to examine the impact of board quality independence on the financial reporting quality, times the impact of audit committee size on the financial income quality. Which is the conceptual framework. My left side in the independent variables and the right side the dependent variables. So, and my research design is the population is the I will take the list of companies in the Colombo of exchange, and the unit of analysis the each listed manufacturing companies, and I will take the sample from the 10 listed manufacturing companies, and the sampling technique is take the 10 manufacturing companies and
Take that 36. Start the date, right? Starting up to that date, starting up.
36 annual report.
Out of 20 families, take 20 companies. You decide how many this workers for the study. This is secondary. What the research objectives? What is the impact of both sides on financial inequality of manufacturing companies in Sri Lanka? Say the objectives. Examine the impact of both sides on the financial inequality of manufacturing companies in Sri Lanka. The region every arrow should be named in the hypothesis. Which one is question?
These are my variables. Independent variable is artificial intelligence. Dependent variable is accounting, efficiency, digital services. Those are my research questions and objectives. Those are built up to relevant to my research topic. And my target population is accounting professionals and finance managers and IT special persons. My target sample population is 15 to 20 participants. So now my research strategy is quantitative strategy.
What's my data? Someone PhD level right of the only that conceptual framework done qualitative research, and conceptual framework, the analytical frameworks, the conceptual framework, qualitative, quantitative. Qualitative curriculum, primary, secondary, itu ada yang past papers pada yang mungkin content analysis juga kali yang itu systematic tutorial bagi bagi model pertama itu loku itu saya pun nela ini kita sering kan ikut kami biasa jadi itu sengkeran awal kan wadah supaya kita kan sedang I see. Last stage, it has more. No, last stage, more. Last stage,
listed companies commercial bank in Sri Lanka. Evidence from the Colombo period 2015-25. This study examining the how inflation affected to the stock return. The independent variable, main independent variable is inflation. Mean Colombo price index and independent variable is stock return. And now also other variable is here interest rate and exchange rate, GDP growth, monetary supply. These help supporting variable help report reliable result. And then my main question is what is the effective inflation return of the latest commercial banking Lanka 15.5 and objective is inflation stock return listed commercial banking. This is the quantitative research and second using the secondary research. So the framework is how the inflation affected with the stock return and the variables how things can affect the
So you are taking all the information. But about
independent variables and other variables using interest rate, exchange rate.
so how can you explain
other independent variables
Because the other independent variable for the micro
that's the thing. Then you put all together, not to economic variables. You don't have data that come from somewhere else, you change that microeconomic variables and you put the inflation. But we are teaching our research deeply. The inflation, there are several variables in common. Am I clear? Yes, sir. Then inflation is the interest rate is applies for variables. So how can it all these four variables and the inflation can't be all these the one. You have to take the one variable, ask them, all these variables. Then we change just the macroeconomic variables on the stock figure of the Western Commercial Bank in Sri Lanka. So no need to mention the evidence from the 2015 to 2025. So you don't need for the undergraduate research. How wonderful. Then the kind of fixed out the interest rate, the kind of estimate, then one is up by. ඉතින් එතකොට ඔයා ඒකත් බලන්න සුළුවගේ 60. එතකොට ඔයාලට we can find inflation විතරක් මේක එළියට බලන්න කියන්නේ.
Inflation is the main variable.
The other variables of whom reflect the research topic. Inflation again when right then GDP dana pula inflation macroeconomic variables and a comment research ඔක්කොම ටෙස්ට් කරලා then nothing to make this not where automatically inflation car or pressure GDP. Speaking of inflation, that one topic in the body the topic is main variable inflation and main variable inflation variables of micro inflation. Check inflation you keep the inflation as it is and remove the other variables. Or else if you want to identify the other variables even from the stock market, you have to change the name. Go to the other one. Second slide. Common commercial finance, population. There are 24 banks.
Studying DSC.
You are taking all the 11 banks. See second letter, no? But actually, index number.
This is my research topic, the effect of external audit quality on stock price validity in the manufacturing sector. So there is an independent variable and dependent variable. Independent variable I took as an external audit quality like auditor size, and the auditor tenure and audit fees and auditor specialization. Dependent variable I took as a stock price validity standard deviation of daily returns. And there are two questions I have include. What is the impact of external audit quality on stock price? Volatility in the manufacturing companies. And second one, what is the effect of individual audit quality dimension regarding to the size and fees specialization on the stock price validity? There's an object of this research is to examine the overall impact on external audit quality on stock price validity in the manufacturing. And the second objective is to evaluate individual influences of auditor size, tension, audit fees, and auditor specialization on stock price validity. The next one is this is my conceptual framework that individual variable external audit quality validities measured by the size and financial leverage, and the profitability also can add. And dependent variables is stock price. The population I took as all the public listed manufacturing companies operating on the chosen stock market. There's a 20 to 39 companies I have chosen. And unit of analysis, 5 year firm years observation, 5-year period I took as 2019 to 2023. Sampling and sampling technique I have as a purposive sampling, estimated sample size of 150 to 200 companies, yield for 752,000 observation. So this is my planning for the research. Stock price of listed manufacturing companies. Yeah, sister, you can do the presentation, or else you can comment. You also the same, huh? Red color pen. If you want, you both can comment, or else you can leave. So then you can have the correct answer. Thus, size moderate the relationship between external audit quality and external quality on stock price quality in manufacturing sector. That is second objective, or is second question, and third question should be does leverage moderate the relationship between external audit quality on stock price volatility in manufacturing sector. Right, you develop again two questions on this moderate impact and then two objectives on the moderate impact. Okay, next one.
Madam, online students.
Okay, 2029 to 2023. So that is the one concept regarding the time period. You are doing the fourth year research in the next year, or 2020 or 2029. So then 2023, the sense it's a little bit bad. I think therefore you have to consider at least 2026 from 2006 years. So 5 years. 5 years. You adjusted the last year. Anyway, anyhow, you have at least considered 2026 to 5 years back.
right? Other than that's not that is good. Up to the percentage. Not good. Yeah. Anyway, now 2020, in the sense from this year onwards, 3 years time, right? Doesn't matter of doing research for the past years, right? Okay. What's your name? Jena. Index number? I'm going to 20. Thank you. Why not? Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Practice there are hypotheses, five hypotheses: strategic costing, competitive funding, customer funding, performance measurements, and strategic planning and budgeting. Dependent variable is organizational decision making. Population published literature related to strategic management accounting practices and organizational decision with emphasis of Sri Lanka listed companies. Units of analysis published research connect studies and scholarly documents and strategic management accounting practices. Samples and sampling techniques, sample size 40 to 60 different publications. Sampling techniques are purposive sampling, so the things are to put together.
Same comment for the other meaning.
The qualitative.
Then we do the qualitative things, no any systematic variance. If you want to do a research and quantitative type, this can be done with the quantitative as well. Not the qualitative, very easily this can be done with the quantitative by sharing the question. You need to actually go to the industry. Okay. So then you change the systematic literature, you make the quantitative primary or qualitative primary with the interviews. So this is a systematic literature review format. No? So then you have two options. First option, you change this one to the quantitative primary interviews, entire the interviews, or else quantitative primary questionnaires. Right? By changing all of these things, you have to again read. So objectives are okay, and but the unit of analysis always all these things in the literature. In 3 girls, you have showing book again. You can time show. Just do the presentation slide and right.
using the which control factors, moderate relationship. These are moderators. How many moderators?
There are 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 moderators. Can you draw the conceptual framework?
But ma'am, I think this is my identified 5 moderators. But I can see guidance to give for my research on.
Okay. Can you take the pen and then draw the conceptual framework? Second line, third line. About you can't do it, then do that. Close that one. Close the presentation. Do that anything. Take the new slide and draw your conceptual framework. New slide. Blank one, just take a blank one. And then PowerPoint mode. Now pen. Yes. Now to draw the conceptual framework. 2 windows.
I can.
Yes. This side. You name your. So this is a conceptual framework. What is your ID? BA. Dependent.
Digital and
FR, the financial reporting, or you just take 2 moderators maximum. Out of the bank size, profitability, capital adequacy, and audit firm type. No need to take it as audit firm size, that is out of factor. Bank size, bank, now referring to the banks. Profitability or bank size, take that one. Right? Rather taking bank size, you can take, if you can take bank size or bank industry, some industry licensing companies. So the firm age, right? How long? And then bank size. Just these two. Random. The firm size. Doesn't matter. Right? Fine. So then take 2 moderators. So the moderator variable as well in the conceptual framework in between different and independent arrow. Then again draw the another arrow between dependent and independent. Dependent, independent because method arrow is up here. And the right, cross the line. Right, and then name the bank size and then the bank age. That means something have to correct. And then go to their research objectives. Question number 1, okay. Question number 2, okay. But question number 3, you just created as a impact of digital and the feedback adaptation on financial reporting quality of registered or licensed commercial bank in Sri Lanka. And then question number 4, does not the control factors, does bank size moderate the relationship between fintech adaptation and financial reporting quality? 1, does firm age moderate the relationship between BFPI and the big part. Right? What is your next? Next number? Well, it is. Don't save them. Don't save them. Examining the interest of specific funds for revenues, adaptation, financial quality among SMEs in Sri Lanka. There are two variables, independent and subjective. Under my research topic, independent variables is in the funds for SMEs adoption. And under independent variable, there are few variables, accounting, knowledge and training, management support, cost of implementation and professional guidance. The dependent variables I measure financial reporting quality. There are 5 dimensions: transparency, accuracy, reliability, comparability, and timeliness. My research questions are: what is the effect of accounting knowledge and training on effective adoption of SLFRS for SMEs? What is the effect of management support on effective adoption on SLFRS for SMEs? What is the effect of the cost of implication on effective adoption of SLFRS for SMEs? And finally, what is the effect of professional guidance on effective adoption of SLFRS for SMEs? And the research objectives are to investigate the influence of accounting knowledge and training on the successful adoption of SLFRS for SMEs, to investigate the influence of management support on the successful adoption of SLFRS for SMEs, and to investigate the influence of implication on the successful adoption of SLFRS for SMEs, and finally to investigate the influence of professional guidance on the successful adoption of SLFRS for SMEs. And my observation is SMEs in Sri Lanka reporting on SLFRS for SMEs. The objective of analysis is individual responder, accountant, finance officer, auditor, or SMEs owners, or finance managers. And finally, sample and sample technique. 150 response, prospective non-profitable student. Dependent variables. SLFRS for the SME adaptation, financial reporting for finance reporting for dependent market dependent variable and questions objectives. Financial reporting or dependent variable require questions are usually taken. Questions are there independent. Independent variable. Accounting knowledge, management support, cost of implementation, functional guidance, SLFRS adaptation financial reporting quality requirements. SLFRS for SME adoption again. What is the effect of accounting knowledge and training on effective adaptation of SLFRS for SME?
Financial reporting කොට එකක් තියෙනවා. දැන් ඔයා මේ පැත්තෙන් දාගන්න මේ accounting knowledge, management support, cost of implementation of process regarding the variables farm මේ පැත්තට දාගන්න. Effective operation of system. ඔය ඒක නම් බලන්න. මඩුව බලන එක තේරෙන්නේ. Financial reporting කොට එකේ දැන් ඔයා බලන්න මොකක්ද? Financial reporting the variables accounting knowledge and training financial reporting point balance. The management support technical SLF allocation financial reporting point in a variety of objectives and questions validated with the method. You are doing the right questions and objectives. How can you write? What is the impact of accounting knowledge and training on financial reporting? The statement of the SMBs in Sri Lanka. The way you have written down formats, structure that is okay, but the content doesn't give us a sense. Take the questions and objectives. And then, you are doing the research with set the data of private data. How many SMBs in Sri Lanka? Where population gap means you have to mention a rough idea regarding population. To show it with the text piece. Okay. What's your name? The impact of the corporate social responsibilities on financial service company in Sri Lanka. The corporate social responsibility is currently the companies are not longer focused only their profit and they are improve their corporate social responsibility for the employee environment also. The independent variables in the corporate social responsibility and the independent variables in the financial performance. The independent the research question is what is the impact of corporate social responsibility on financial of and the research objective is to identify the impact of corporate social responsibility on financial performance of different companies in Sri Lanka. The dependent variables are the ROA, return of asset, ROE, return of equity, and EPS, earnings per share. The population is CAC registered listed companies in Sri Lanka and individual CAC listed companies and sample is 30 listed companies.
This is the concept conduct, individual variables linked to the dependent variable. Financial. What is the independent variable? This is maybe basically there are three independent variables. C is R questions objects. One, all these we need together and not make it as a one question. There should be three equivalent windows in this software. So there is must be there are three numbers. Not C is R, but it is yes R. There should be equality conditions. Likewise, you develop three independent variables. Then this side only one variable. Then there should be three research objectives and then three questions and then three hypotheses. Right? What is your sampling technique? Sampling technique. Sampling technique also needed to be mentioned. Then population. How many companies? Population. CST registered listed companies. How many? Around 200, 280 something. Mention those things as besides that is very common. Okay. This. The picture number others. As you can see on your screen, I have included all the important parts of my research proposal for this slide. To begin with, my research topic is the impact of capital budgeting on resource optimization in small-scale decisions in Sri Lanka. I have mentioned net present value, internal rate of return, payback period, and accounting rate of return. These are not only the capital budgeting techniques, but also they are my independent variables. And also my dependent variable is resource optimization. Then I have developed a main research question. How does capital budgeting techniques can impact to resource optimization? That main question I have developed 4 sub-research questions. To look with the independent variables to see how they can be used to improve resource optimization. And also my main research objective is to examine how capital budgeting techniques impact to resource optimization. From that also, I have developed 4 research objectives. Then moving on to conceptual framework. On the left side, I have my 4 independent variables separately connected with hypothesis from H1 to H4 to my dependent variable research objective. From this, it means that I will be using all these capital budgeting techniques to identify how they are impacting to resource optimization individually. Then moving on to my methodology, as per my formulation, I have selected owners, managers, and accountants of small scale businesses in Sri Lanka. And my unit of analysis is small scale businesses operating in Sri Lanka. And as for my sample, I have selected 120 small scale businesses and using simple random sampling technique. I chose 120 small scale businesses because it is practical, because it is enough for the statistical analysis and also it is practical for the time and the resources. And I selected simple random sampling because it gives every small scale businesses an equal amount of chance to be selected and also reduces the bias. So finally, this study will help me to examine how capital budgeting techniques in how net present value, IRR, PP, and ARR impact to resource optimization with the collected data of 120 small scale businesses. Some categories, right? So, rather take the question start with how you take what, right? And then what was where's what is where's this the same impact on resource optimization on two, right? And then on resource optimization of small scale businesses in Sri Lanka. We have that place, right? Already into my research. The questions are up to you. Population of area seems okay.
Ma'am, shall I do? Hello, madam.
You can start.
Yeah. Yeah, madam. This is madam. My voice is clear. Hello, madam.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. My research topic is the impact of the cloud computing accounting system on the financial performance of listed manufacturing companies in Sri Lanka. Yeah.
You can hear Sajat, you can hear me.
Yeah. Okay, madam.
Okay, so we are taking the
Yeah. Okay.
So we are taking the presentation of the physical students since they have presented here, right? So we want to take the presentation from them first. So then after we'll take your presentation, okay?
Okay, madam.
Your presentation. Yes. Some financial in Sri Lanka. Corporate governance practices is the independent variable, while the financial performance is the dependent variable. The research objectives are the identifying the corporate governance practices adopted by listed banks in Sri Lanka and they examine the relationship between corporate governance and the financial performance. The research questions are the what corporate governance practices are adopted by listed banks in Sri Lanka and what is the relationship between corporate governance practices and the financial performance. So the conceptual framework, the indicators that I take for the independent variables are board size, board independence, CEO unity, and board meetings. The dependent variable indicators are the ROA, EPS, and NPM. Population is the listed banks in Sri Lanka, and unit of analysis is the individual listed bank. And sample is the 10 listed banks, sampling techniques using simple random sample. In the last session, as well. This is the way of drawing the concept. I believe you I remember you presented for the recent lectures, so then I have given the conceptual framework several times, but I am feeling why you are not doing that work. So when it's from the facilities, you teach me. Your registration number. Financial performance measures through profitability, revenue growth, cost efficiency, and operational efficiency. Independent variable question is how does fintech adoption affect the financial performance of the BPO companies in Sri Lanka? Objective is to examine the impact of fintech adoption on the financial performance. Dependent variable, which means what is the relation between fintech adoption to financial performance. Relationship is to examine the relationship between fintech adoption. My population is registered business versus outsourced companies and the balance is employees and management working with BPO companies specified in finance and tech-related operations. Sample technique. Sample is employees and managers of elected BPO companies in Sri Lanka. Sample technique is identified three different fintech adaptations. First one, digital payment system, artificial intelligence, and cloud-based financial system and data.
Those are the four components of the binary characterization. Then why you are not given four questions and four different prescriptive factors, four independent variables. Very simple then. And then four hypotheses should be. And then put the financial performance. Can't measure the financial performance by first efficiency, operational efficiency, and now select one. Right, remove those all of these things and mention this as a financial performance. And then draw the four hypotheses, four arrows, four questions, four objectives. Like that. VB your company is 10, no? Then you are in the your population is actually the 10 companies, but the employees who work in this register VB your companies. There might be employees present to work in the data 50 categories. You can't take all of the employees at 3 categories. 5 employees who are working in this condition, and then 10 is the 550 is the that 50 population you can split example based. Well, it is 50 and with the table and it might be 20 or some, but it is sample size 100. So putting the population of 100, 100. Let's according to that, your population and then some. Here. Okay, online students also you can mark the QR. हमें present कराने दिखाते हैं in the main.
Madam.
These are the discussed this corporate governance actually starts from the these objectives. How not even if it's objectives. But it is the format is incorrect. Digital. How to start it with? How to start it? You have to start it with two methods to examine the effect of ownership on the accounting quality. Accounting quality, sustainable accounting. Some issues in the word, right? Then second one, what do you mean by the hybrid governance? Where are the hybrid governance? That means any entire ownership, loss, trust, behavior, all are coming into the hybrid governance. The main objective is hybrid governance on the sustainable farming. What do you think about the reliability? Reliability. He said independent variable. Reliability. It's not mentioned in the concept framework. Independent variable is hybrid governance. No, what do you mean the last one? Proactive behavior, okay, no, how? What is the scale not where? Dimension of that. Then it doesn't matter. So then you can't develop the question for the dependent variable dimensions. You like to can say reliability because sustainable accounting quality is again dimension. Then remove the sixth one. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and then if you want, you can incorporate main research question as well. Right? Hybrid governance, ensuring sustainable governance. Yeah. Okay. First one. Research objectives, you have to see that. Right? Exam, maybe institutional theory, social capital, theory, no need for the research objectives. Same question, but right? Manufacturing garment industries. There has to be mentioned in the objectives as well as questions. Clear? And what are the clear and what's the index number? Let's see. Organizational culture on fraud prevention in manufacturing industries in Sri Lanka.
My independent variable is organizational culture, and my dependent variable is fraud prevention. I have developed research questions. The first one is, what are the key dimensions on organizational culture in manufacturing industries in Sri Lanka? And to answer that question, my objective is to examine the key theories and factors affecting organizational culture. My second research question is, what are the factors affecting fraud prevention in manufacturing industries in Sri Lanka? And the objective is to identify the theories and factors influencing fraud prevention. And my third research question is, what is the relationship between this organizational culture and fraud prevention? And the objective is to critically evaluate the relationship between the organizational culture and fraud prevention. And the population is manufacturing industry experts in Sri Lanka, because they have very specific knowledge on the subject. And the unit of analysis, I'm collecting information from individual manufacturing experts working in manufacturing industries in Sri Lanka. And as a sample, I'm planning to collect information from 100 respondents, and I'm using purposive sampling for this.
Stay over. Stay over. And first name over. Then last name, your last name you have.
And my next topic is the impact of capital expenditure on the financial performance of plantation companies listed on the Colombo Stock Exchange. So I have selected 4 variables: land and building development expenditure, machinery and equipment expenditure, motor vehicles and other asset investments, and finally investments in biological asset, that means replanting. So under that, I have developed my research questions and objectives. My first question is, what is the impact of land and building development expenditure on the financial performance? To answer that, I have to, my research objective is to evaluate the impact of land and building development expenditure on financial performance. And my second question is, what is the impact of machinery and equipment expenditure on financial performance? To answer that, to evaluate the impact of machinery and equipment expenditure on the financial performance. And third question is, what is the impact of motor vehicle and other asset investments on financial performance? And my research objective is to evaluate the impact of motor vehicle and other asset investments on financial performance. And finally, what is the impact of investment in biological assets? That means the planting on financial performance. And my research objective is to evaluate the impact of investment in biological assets on financial performance. And this is my conceptual framework. This is my independent variables, and this is my dependent variable is financial performance that can be measured using ROA, return on asset, ROE, return on equity, EPS, and NPM. My population is all plantation companies listed on the Colombo Stock Exchange. There are plantation companies, approximately 19 to 20 companies. And my unit of analysis is individual listed plantation company. And my sample is all listed plantation companies on Colombo Stock Exchange, because there are limited number of plantation companies in Sri Lanka, listed plantation companies in Sri Lanka. So I used my sampling techniques as census sampling. This topic will be about ESG resource dependent variables of financial performance achieved by ROE. Research correction does ESG disclose already have a significant impact on financial performance on Sri Lankan listed companies. Which ESG definition has the greatest influence on the financial performance of Sri Lankan listed companies. What is the relationship between ESG disclose and financial performance? Research objectives are to examine the impact of ESG disclose quality on the financial performance of the company, to identify the influence and environmental, government, non-performance, and determine population of the company which is performance around the environment. The variables reflect the student individual representation. We have an extra base variables
Given this, right? So they are three of you need to do the same one, right? Environmental disclosure and financial performance. Right? Second one, social disclosures to the financial performance. Right? Third one, governance disclosures to the financial performance. And we see the other specification, conceptual variables to the then better write down three questions accordingly. Remove those independent, remove the variable column and then just develop the three questions. How can you develop those things? Thus, environmental disclosure, impact on financial performance. Second one is social disclosure, impact in the financial performance. Third one is governance disclosure, impact on financial. That's it. What's your name?
It's the impact of digital transformation, disclosure on financial reporting quality in listed financial institutions. The main objective of this, there are some the variables of the topic is the AI automation and disclosure. The research objective is what is the impact of AI and automation disclosure on financial reporting quality. The research question is to examine the significant impact of AI and automation disclosure on financial reporting quality. Second variable is digital infrastructure and platform disclosure. Research question is what is the impact of digital infrastructure and platform disclosure on financial reporting quality. The research objective is to examine the significant impact of digital infrastructure and platform disclosure on financial reporting quality. And third variable is data analytics and data-driven decision-making disclosure. The research question is what is the impact of data analytics and data-driven decision-making disclosure on financial reporting and अंतिम क्या लिखे इसीलिए इसने
So it can't very well. So other one. My research topic is the impact of working capital management efficiency on corporate profitability listed manufacturing firms in Sri Lanka during the post-economic recovery period. There are several dependent variables. My independent variable is corporate profitability. Inventory conversion period, average collection period, average payment period, the cash conversion cycle. There are 4 research questions and 4 objectives. Objectives are to evaluate the impact of inventory conversion period on corporate profitability in the post recovery period, to analyze the impact of average collection period on corporate profitability in the post recovery period, to determine the impact of average payment period on corporate profitability during the post recovery period, to assess the overall impact of cash conversion cycle on corporate profitability during the post recovery period. My population is listed manufacturing, all listed manufacturing firms based on the Colombo Stock Exchange. There are 24 average manufacturing companies in CSC, listed companies. My unit of analysis is the individual listed manufacturing firms. Especially my data period is post recovery economic success period. My method of choice is secondary quantitative analysis. Twenty 2023 to 2026. I see.
Hello, excuse me, madam. Hello.
Hello, madam.
Madam, 6:45. I have another important meeting at the outside. Madam, shall I do next week the presentation?
Yes, the online students will take the presentation in next week or mid of the week, right? I will inform it properly.
Okay, madam. Shall I leave it?
Yeah, you can leave it up. You can
Okay,
leave
madam.
it. I have to say.
Okay,
Complete the physical lecture. So
Uh-huh.
then for the online students, we'll take the presentation in next week or mid of the week.
Okay, madam. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
What is the impact of digital system financial reporting quality based on listed banking companies in Sri Lanka. In my research, that in one independent variable is digital funding system
is financial reporting quantity. The dependent variable in financial reporting quality can measure accuracy, reliability, relevance, transparency, and timelines. The population is all listed players in commercial bank in Sri Lanka. The medium paralyze is individual listed as the commercial bank. Example sample technique is I plan to use percussive sampling technique and select different. System quality information policy But these are data security, but these are Why the minister presentation because that without presentation is that there are transfer. So that the human system quality, information quality. System quality, information quality, කියන්නේ කතාට මේ අනුගමනයේ ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන්ස් ටික ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි. ඒක ගන්න ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන්. The topic again with topic taken up on the cake and the work then digital accounting financial එක ටොපික් එකක් මෙන්න ගත්තා. මේ ඉස්ටේට් බැංකින් ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රීස් ඉස්ටේට් බැංකින් කම්පැනිස් වලට ගත්තාම මේක තමක් නෑ කියන්නේ මේ ආර්ටිෆිෂල් සම්මේලනය. ඒ ඔයා දැනගන්න ඩිජිටල් අකවුන්ටිංగ్ සිස්ටම් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන එක නේද? මට තේරුණා Treatment but not more than the presentations were all right. Presentations one variable people have spending first one variable to dependent variable. One variable to dependent. The presentation with the objectives variables to variables are questions. I think side. Legal health never primary equities, so the example make that secondary only current where they go the next account system allocation plan where they will are second category course range are find but in this one close card. Presentation will be given close card. Last item. Then upload payment presentation. All types are last name, full name. The last name. And I'm going to last name is this is something I'm और तब मैं ना प्रोपर सर्च करूँगी
Only quality on stock market returns on listed banking companies in Srilanka and benchmark around stock exchange. According to my research topic from my independent variable is quality, dependent variable is stock market return. According to the research topic, I developed 3 questions and objectives. First one is the earning quality affects stock market returns. The objective is to examine the impact of earning quality on stock market return. Second one is what is the relationship between earning quality and stock market return. To identify the relationship between earning quality and stock market return. Third one is which earning quality factors affect stock market return. The objective is to identify which specific earning qualities and determinants have the most significant impact on stock market return. The target population is all listed commercial banks plus listed on Colombo Stock Exchange. Unit of analysis is individual listed banking institution. I select 8 top banks and analyze data 2015 to 2025.
So my research topic is the effect of capital structure in financial performance of still manufacturing companies in Sri Lanka. So I took reverse as the total debt ratio, short term, long term. And my research questions are: what does the effects of total debt ratios on financial performance? What is the effect of short term debt ratio on financial performance? And what are the effects of long term debt ratios on financial performance? And my objectives are to determine the effects of total debt ratios on financial performance and the effects on short-term debt ratio on financial performance and also the long-term debt ratios on financial performance. So in my conceptual work, conceptual framework, I shown the my independent variables, and also in the right-hand side, I showed my dependent variable financial performance. So my population is all the manufacturing sector companies listed on the stock exchange. And my sample size, I think, around 30 or 40 particular the information I found. Economic studies.
Yes, I think can't be used, right? Those are not allowed to calculate, right? Okay.
See, right.
Score down. Again, then Thomas submitted. It really was
practices between the manufacturing and banking and finance sector companies in Sri Lanka using the GRI framework. Then my independent variable is the industry sector. Then my dependent variables, I have 4. Sustainability reporting disclose, economic disclose, environmental disclose, social disclose. The reason is that why I choose this. Companies mainly focusing about their maintaining the accounting side, but they do not focus about the effect of the nature. That's why I have choose this topic. And my research questions are: is there significant difference in sustainability reporting between the manufacturing and banking and finance companies? Is that my industry? What sustainability indicators are disclosed by each sector? Is there significant difference in economic, environmental, social, and overall disclosures? Then my research objectives are: compare sustainability reporting practices between the manufacturing and banking and finance companies. Banking and finance means the one sector.
Mainly, I am comparing the manufacturing. Second one is the banking and finance. Then identify sustainability indicators disclosed by each sector. Third one, evaluate and determine the differences in economic, environmental, social, and overall sustainability disclosures. The conceptual framework, I have not drawn that way. Independent variable is the manufacturing, banking, and finance. These are the dependent variables. The population, I have choose the 101 CSC listed companies. Unit of analysis, listed companies in the Sri Lanka. Sample and sampling technique, I have choose 40 companies based on the structure. Then the manufacturing 21, banking and finance 19. Sampling technique. These running compartments of the benefit financing. The practices as much as they are right. So basically, you don't have a millionaire in the benefits. You will just identify how these two sectors comparatively use these practices. That is what you want to analyze, how the banking sector applies sustainable reporting practices, and then how the companies, the finance industry, do the sustainable practices. So that is what you want to analyze. Based on these four factors, I'm going to analyze that science.
How the economic disclosures are disclosed by the banking and finance companies, and then how the environmental disclosures are practices by banking and then the manufacturing, and then how the social disclosures are practices by the manufacturing and banking.
But I have choose something like Haley 8, 10,
right? So then it is a comparative study. Comparative studies might be different kind of things. Here you only compare one variable. Am I true? That is what? That is a sustainable reporting practice. So then you do not have any dependent variable. You just identify make companies over the practice that is a separate kind of a study. Your study is not similar to the other student study. So then you do not have any in the conceptual failure. Right? This is not the qualitative, this is a quantitative study, but it's only identified how different companies practices the GR, the sustainable practices. Right? Then you do not have conceptual framework, you do not have dependent, only variable is your sustainable disclosures, that is the independent variable. Under that one, you have the 3 dimensions. Economic, environmental, and social. එක variable එකයි වාට කියන්නේ ඒක independent. or dependent subjected variable එකක් නැහැ. ඔයා බලන්නේ sustainable reporting practices banking සහ manufacturing එකේ කොහොමද comparatively use කරන්නේ කියන එක විතරයි. එතකොට sustainable reporting practices වලට වඩා තියෙන 3 dimensions. ඒ තුන කොහොමද banking, ඒ තුන කොහොමද manufacturing compare කරන්නේ කියන එකයි කරන්නේ. එතකොට ඔයාගේ independent dependent කියන concept එක යනවා concept එක කතා කරනවා. other than that one all others are okay. Topic is okay, very clear, but dependent independent, if you are inserting dependent independent in the middle of your report, you have to change that one. And this conceptual framework also you have to change. Really good research topic, another interesting. So previously you had selected the working capital management or something, no?
ROI and
Last is
representing on the impact of our corporate social responsibility on the financial performance of listed hotel companies in Sri Lanka. I took the variables of environmental responsibility, employee welfare, and corporate governance as my variables. Where the research question of environmental responsibility is, what is the impact of environment responsibility on the financial performance on listed hotel companies in Sri Lanka? Where the objective of the research question was to evaluate the impact of the environmental responsibility on the financial performance of the listed companies. For the employee welfare, what is the impact on employee welfare on the financial performance of the hotel companies in Sri Lanka? But the research objective is how it was evaluated, the impact of the employee welfare on the financial performance of the listed companies in Sri Lanka. And for corporate governance, with the ethical business practices followed by the listed companies, what is the impact of the ethical business practices on the financial performance and how it was evaluated according to the ethical business practices on the financial performance. For the conceptual framework, the independent variables that I took was these three, and how I measured those were through the financial performance of return on assets and return on equity. And for the population, there's almost around 37 listed companies in the hotel industry in the Colombo Stock Exchange. And I took an example of 15 hotels on purpose sampling to according to the availability of the report from like 5 years.
Now I will be presenting my research topic, the impact of auditor independence on audit quality in listed companies in Sri Lanka. So there are three variables: independent impact, audit tenure, and non-audit services. So for the independence impact, the research question is, how does independence impact influence audit quality in listed companies in Sri Lanka? And the research objective for that is to examine the impact of independence impact on audit quality. The second variable is audit tenure, and the research question for that is, what is the impact of audit tenure on audit quality? And the research objective is to evaluate the impact of that on audit quality. So the third one is non-audit services, dimension of auditor independence. The research research question is how do non-audit services affect audit quality in listed companies? And the research objective is to assess the impact of non-audit services on audit quality. So based on the dependent variable, the overall research question is how is audit quality affected by auditor independence in listed companies in Sri Lanka? And the overall research objective is to evaluate the overall relationship between auditor independence and audit quality. So based on audit quality, the conceptual framework, there are three dimensions: dependence impact, audit and non-audit services. So for the population, I selected listed companies in Sri Lanka. And for the unit of analysis, the same is listed companies in Sri Lanka. And the sampling and sample technique is purposive sampling.
This remove the correct fourth question. And overall distribution of the research objective, no need, but if you want, you can include that in the first one. As a main question, and then remove the word how. Right? There are two words in the research questions. You just include that's the independent impact, not the influence. First question, right? Not the influence, impact. Audit quality listed companies in Sri Lanka, same listed companies in Sri Lanka should be as a research objectives as well. To examine the impact of independence impact on audit quality of listed companies in Sri Lanka. Right? Likewise, inline the questions and objectives together and change the questions to the second question and third question, incorporating the word what or less. Right? Remove the word how. Population, you have to mention the number of companies in the listed companies and the unit of analysis, you are taking the second data or primary data. Second. The sample size is not the one that should be at least 60 companies, 40 companies. Okay. Sample data also not actually purposive. You can take simple errors. What's your name? Index number? Yes. The impact of independent audit, the effectiveness on organizational performance in manufacturing companies listed in the Sri Lanka. My name is auditor competency, auditor management staff, auditing, research question. This is location. Questions and objectives are making the point over another. Sampling techniques, 20 is not enough, right? 20 companies have you selected that 20 companies and sample them. That is not enough. Increase sample size and here it has been mentioned 20 companies. Then mention the population mass. Second. Management support, auditor independence. So can you find that those information are the annual reports? Check that one. That's up to you whether you can collect the data for the auditor competency, right? It can be something. When initially the annual report in the university. Auditor independence also something, but management support we can't take. Now, if you change the variable, you just decide whether I'm going to the primary conjugate or primary secondary. Right? Based on your convenience, you select what you want to. Technically, also, so here, your registration number. Last one. How many? Bootable calculations. Form maybe financial reporting, it is in Sri Lanka listed company. They complete internet control. The question is the impact of audit committee effectiveness on financial reporting regularly in Sri Lanka listed company, and the objective is to evaluate the impact of audit committee effectiveness on financial reporting in Sri Lanka listed company. And for the internet control effectiveness, that is the impact of internet control effectiveness on financial reporting regulators in Sri Lanka listed company, and objective is to evaluate the impact of internet control effectiveness on financial reporting regulators in Sri Lanka listed company. And for the whistleblowing mechanism, the question is, what is the impact of whistleblowing mechanism on financial reporting irregularities in Sri Lanka listed company to evaluate the impact of whistleblowing mechanism on financial reporting irregularities in Sri Lanka listed company. You have my independent variable, audit committee effectiveness, and internal control effectiveness and whistleblowing. And the dependent variable is financial reporting irregularities. And for the population, I choose all the companies listed on the Colombo Stock Exchange market in Sri Lanka, and the unit of analysis are individual companies within Sri Lanka. For the sample technique, I choose certified random sampling and the 15 different companies. Join.
Mr. Beyond. Yeah, operational expenses and bank financial performance of commercial banks in Sri Lanka. My independent variable is financial performance. Independent variables are capital adequacy, liquidity management, credit risk, operational accounting, and bank size. Capital adequacy, the result means what is the impact of capital adequacy on financial performance. Examine the impact of capital adequacy on financial performance. Is liquidity management. Research question is what is the impact of liquidity management on financial performance? Research objective is analyze the impact of liquidity management on financial performance. Third one is credit risk. Research question is how does credit risk affect financial performance? Research objective is to evaluate the impact of credit risk on financial performance. Fourth one is operational efficiency. Research question is what is the impact of operational efficiency on financial performance? Research objective is to assess the impact of operational efficiency on financial performance. And size control. The question is what is the impact of parent size on financial performance? Research objective is to examine the impact of parent size on financial performance. 24 is license commercial bank in Sri Lanka. Central Bank Sri Lanka. Study population narrowed to the 10 listed banks. Listed commercial banks listed on the stock exchange. Individual financial is individual commercial bank. Sample and all them CSC listed license commercial banks with complete data 21 to 2024.
Is impact of capital adequacy on financial performance of large and commercial bank in Sri Lanka. Then do the same change the research objective. What's the research number?
Yeah.
My topic at the last moment. So it's told me the heading was not that strong. So my topic is impact on financial constraints on the growth of small and medium enterprises in Sri Lanka. The reason I chose this topic because even though small and medium scale business individuals are not significant, collectively they form a large amount, contribute in a large way to the Sri Lankan economy, and they provide a lot of jobs because they are more in intensive manual labor. My independent variables are, which means they are the independent variables are financial constraints. Under that, the issues are loan rejection, inadequate loan amounts, and strict collateral requirements because banks trust these businesses less, so they require higher collateral, and the interest rate is high because of the increased risk. And the dependent variable on that is the small and medium scale business growth. In that aspect, what I measure is the growth of the overall business size. Their financial performance means the profitability, the market share, and in addition to that, there's the acquiring of assets and machinery, those stuff. And this is the conceptual framework. This is based on the independent variables, and this is the dependent variables. My objectives of this study is to identify what are the main constraints faced by the SMEs in Sri Lanka. Either it can be through banks or other financial institutes, finding creditors or financing their expansion projects, and of growth in sales and how these constraints can hinder the progress of growth
or the expansion in employment or the ability to provide employment opportunities. And I mean, and not all SMEs are affected equally. The impact of constraints of financial constraints of what do you call this thing can business can impact business in a different way based on their size, the industry location. If
Rates.
yeah, basically, if a business is located in a major business area which has a presence, it is more likely to get a loan. It is in my proposal also, and also in financial and what is the actual relationship between the constraint and the growth of the SMEs. Research what the questions I'm asking these are what are the main the population is the entire small and medium enterprise in Sri Lanka. Unit of is an individual SME. Sampling technique I took purposive sampling because I can deliberately find which businesses fall into the criteria that I'm trying to look into instead of like randomly selecting.
All the analysis has been changed to needed to be changed to the employees and then managers or some sort of a category.
Secondary.
Primary, how
Because of the supplement inputs and so, but I know this is primary there would be more accurate.
we have researched on independent and dependent variables. So see here, loan rejection, how to identify the loan rejection, eh? So then the collateral requirements sometimes can't be. High interest can be, but the loan adequate, so inadequate loan also have to inquire from the managers or the finance managers from that particular segment. Right?
We have to interview around 30 to 40 owners from
Must interview the question.
like a form, yeah.
So it's based on the population. You know, as you when you are doing this research, you limit this research for the population. You limit this research for the Colombo districts. Right? Colombo district SMEs. So then you had it, yeah, Colombo district SMEs. Then Colombo district SMEs might be sometime it might be 1,000 or something. Then if there are 1,000, so then you have to select, you have to identify 1,000 managers or accountants in that SMEs. Based on that one, you have to select the sample. It would be normally more than 150.
Because of the software.
Yeah, the population and then the Morgan age, right? So then what you have to do is, what my recommend that is how you have to change the methodology part. So then when I'm recommending for the questions and objectives, you go to the conceptual framework, you can very clearly develop 4 questions, right? How the submission, how the loan rejection impact for the SME goal, and then how insufficient loans impacting for the SME goal, and then how the strict collateral impacting for that one, and then the other 5 as well. So then develop 5 to 6. So 5 questions and then 5 objectives. Except that 5 questions and objectives, since you have mentioned, it's the level of the failure. Yeah, the level. It's in the level
of growth in sales and result.
And that's also can be as a 6th one. Then remove the first one. Main financial constraint, no need. Since you have 5 and the 6th one is the growth. And then that is also no need. So I'm really doubt about the last question. Do you have any mediator or moderators? Moderators. Are you trying to identify is the firm size, is the moderation in between this financial constraint and the SME growth?
Yeah.
That might be then the moderator.
Each and every finance has a different.
Yes, so then if I do that one, it should be like this.
The topic is Good enough?
Yeah, yes, yes, exactly. That is really good. A very interesting research topic if you are doing with the primary data, because you can do the better job. So it should be like this. Differently, you draw the files. Right? And then this side, firm growth. 4, 5 questions. And then regarding this one, 6 questions. Here 1 to 5. And then Pratha, here you are trying to identify how does the relationship between these will be changed according to the SME size. Right? SME in the sense there might be small, medium, and medium enterprises. No? So then firm size. Right? Does it moderate? IB1 like this. And this is might be these all are financial constraints. No? So then this might be the first one, loan rejection. Right?
This much of an impact on.
Yes, because we know there might be loan rejection impacting for the SME growth. Does it change according to the firm size? So then you have to change the questions like the last question. Does firm size moderate the relationship between financial constraints to the SME growth? Let's accept that part. All others are correct. You can take the photos of this. Very interesting research topic. Huh? Good. What's the index number?
0.
Big day, no?
Yeah.
2.
2. Yes.
It's mainly focused on how AI affects trade while developing their professional skills.
Independent variable is AI tools. It can be breakdown into 4 dimensions like automation, data analysis, accuracy, and ease of use. My research gap is most of research have focused on qualified auditors or firm level performances instead of focuses on audit trainees. My research questions are how do AI tools affect the performance of audit trainees in Sri Lanka? And what challenges do audit trainees face when using AI tools? My research objectives to identify the AI tools used by audit trainees, to analyze the relationship between AI tools and trainee performance, to evaluate the performance level of audit trainees, to identify challenges faced when using AI tools, and to provide recommendations for improving training performance through AI tools. My population is all publicly available literature on AI tools in auditing and audit trainee performance between 2016 to 2026. My unit of analysis is individual published journal article, professional report, or industrial applications. My sample and sample techniques versus selection via systematic review into by using inclusion and exclusion criteria to determine final 20 to 30.
My question is, you are trying to again systematic review. Systematic review. Have you heard the comment that I have given to the other 18 in girls, 3 girls regarding systematic reviews? The systematic reviews, we are not allowing systematic review for the undergraduate research. So then you have to, if you are trying to do it by the systematic review, you have to change that. Okay. So if